We're live. Medium energy Wiley. Flex count 7.5. That's easily always hit the overs on Andy.
Did I mention I'm going to the Bahamas tomorrow?
That's 2. Are you really?
Yeah, my best friend from high school is getting married. I did a whole bit on destination weddings on my podcast about how.
By the way, Keith always says best friends. That's an automatic flex. Plus your Bahamas. That's 2. So you're at 2. Go ahead. Go ahead with your story.
Yeah, I did a whole bit on how. Listen, Jake's my friend's not listening to this. I love you, Jake. I love your wife. I cannot wait for this week to celebrate your holy matrimony. But we're talking. I mean, you would know this better than I would, Wiley, because you're a little bit older than I am. But long gone are the days where a wedding is a wedding. We are showing up to this wedding that occurs on Saturday night for a pool party on Thursday afternoon. Okay. So the requirements to get there is, first of all, I'm taking 3 planes to get there, including an airline that I've never heard of before that could, these tickets to this airline can only be purchased on the dark web called Pineapple Air to take a seaplane from Nassau to some other smaller island, which I just figured out how to pronounce, called Eleuthera. And by the way, there's no Ubers or taxis on this island as well. So included in the bill is you have to rent a golf cart for yourselves as well. So you're taking 3 planes to get to this island that you have to show up for a pool party at 2 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, another welcome reception on Friday. The wedding's not until Saturday evening. I'm getting back to LA super late Sunday night. And I just like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? I mean, it's just become such an eventized formula these days. And I understand it totally. I cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's quite the production this week. So I apologize in advance for if I'm a little out of it in the Discord, because I'm going to be a little out of commission. I agree, Ghost Jam, completely. And my whole thing too is, and I don't know, maybe just the parents are funding all of this, but to me, it's like, wouldn't you want to spend that money on, your honeymoon or the house that you're about to buy? God forbid me get into what the guests are having to pay to make the journey. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose we're only talking about this because pricing isn't out, but I've got quite the journey coming up for me going to LA to Eleuthera tomorrow.
First of all, it's your fault for having friends. I've said that many times on the show. You have friends, you have to go to their weddings. You're at that age, you go to weddings, then it's the kid age, and then sadly it's the funeral age. I'm in the I don't like people age.
Well, you're in a good age because I think, it's
prison. I would say Natalie got married in prison. Go ahead.
The wedding sweet spot is what I'm learning right now is between 27 and 35, right? So I think when you're that age, you're going to go to more weddings in that little 8-year stretch than you are for the rest of your life. And so I'm 29 right now. I'm in the middle of it.
And how many of these ding dongs get divorced? 60%, 70%? I mean, these people are not going to last.
All the wedding.
No friends. You have to name out the friends, but you know which ones will not last, right?
I plead the fifth. Yeah. I plead the fifth, but I get that. I understand the general play. So I mean, listen, I'm going to have a ton of fun. It's with my high school buddies, so I don't get to see that often. I live in LA. All of them live in Dallas or New York. So, it's going to be fun, but I'm going to be tracking the whole thing on my phone. So hopefully we get some shot tracker this week back because I don't know. I didn't catch much of the Zurich. Did you last week?
I didn't watch much of it, but I did follow it with the Discord. Because we were extremely fried because there was no shot tracker. There wasn't even there wasn't even shot placement, right? There wasn't even, you didn't even know what was going on until the hole finished.
No, and there were mistakes too, by the way. So nothing was safe. Like they made tons of mistakes of it during the shot track.
Yeah, they made tons of mistakes. And poor DraftKings is now feeling it too, because they allowed, as everyone knows, in the DFS world, they allowed you to pick two of one team, Russell Knox and Peter Malnati, which would have been fine had they missed the cut, which I assume most people thought. But there were some teams that did play him, and they ran out of 112 points. So that has caused this delay in getting DK pricing, which we're stalling on a little bit. But we could still sort of extrapolate from the betting market as to what we believe the pricing will be. And I even kind of think of where the ownership's going to land, and probably you have as well. But the Zurich, strangely, it was pretty popular. And then you get Shane and Rory at the end. So Kobe seemed happier today on Twitter. Right?
Yeah, Kobe was all the way back in on the Rory can win Valhalla.
The best is when on Sunday
I'm not even entertaining, but
he called Australians alcoholic prisoners.
Oh, the Live Adelaide. There was some funny Live Adelaide stuff as well. Yeah.
So I read through your article, and I don't know what you hate more, Craig Ranch
or destination weddings,
or Texas, or destination wedding, or that one friend is going to get a divorce. But the Texas swing for golf kind of stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the courses aren't anything to write home about. The fields, they get a few good players because a lot of them live there. Or from there, or went to school there. So they're fortunate that way. But the Texas swing is really at this point. Byron Nelson is not a leader in terms of the energy from a golf enjoyment standpoint. The field's okay. But what's your beef with Craig Ranch?
I just think it's the absolute nut low of a professional test. I think if you combine the visuals of the golf course, how it plays on television, with the homogeneity of strategy, I mean, every single hole on this golf course is driver off the tee. There's really little decision making for pros. Big greens, very big flat greens, wide fairways, very low missed fairway penalty, negligible rough. So what that essentially does is it all comes down to the emphasis falls on the second shot. There's no separation off the tee, and it all comes down to who's going to make the most putts, right? And I don't find that to be particularly compelling golf to watch. And yeah, I mean, I think that there's a place for birdie fests on the PGA Tour. I don't think that all birdie fests are as banal and vapid as TPC Craig Ranch. I think Kapalua is an example of a birdie fest that looks good on television because there's these massive elevation changes and you're in Hawaii. This is an abandoned field cosplaying as a professional golf course. And you're just going to see players. I mean, you watch golf more than you're probably in the 99th percentile of people that watch golf. Yeah. Can you name me, you watch the Byron Nelson every year, at the very least track the Byron Nelson every year and play DFS. Yeah. Can you name me one hole? We've had this golf course for this is our 4th year. One hole.
No. In fact, I was disappointed when it moved from Trinity Forest, even though that was built on it. Huh?
Yeah. Core Crenshaw. I like Trinity Forest.
But because Trinity Forest, I don't think players liked the area it was in because it was not central to anything, and it was built on a dump. But the clubhouse looked amazing. It was completely a unique golf course, absolutely wide open, ton of wind. And then they moved to Craig Ranch, which I really can't name. Aaron Wise won it at Trinity Forest. That was it. That was Aaron Wise's coming out.
He did. Yeah.
So no, I can't. I mean, I don't really know much about anything on this course other than the primary defense for it is wind. And Texas, you can typically bank on a good amount of wind, and we've seen a lot of wind this year on a lot of courses around the country. But then you look at the weather forecast, and there's none of that either. I mean, it's like 14-mile-per-hour gusts. That's not enough wind to make this super interesting.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's going to be a birdie fest. And if you look at the winners or near winners last year, they're all very good putters. Jason Day won last year, right? 26 birdies. I mean, making 26 birdies, 26 to 28 birdies. KH Lee, I think, won 25 under, 26 under, who plays well in Texas, a good iron player. But you're going to have guys who make a ton of birdies and can putt.
100%. I would say if I am isolating the two most important factors this week, it is long iron play and putting. And if you remember what we talked about Mexico week, Vedanta Vallarta, the Jake Knapp week, I think this golf course is very similar to that.
Right.
I think the same types of players that played well at Vedanta Vallarta are going to play.
I love when you say Vedanta Vallarta, and I think you do that on purpose. You inject it in your article because I think I love you saying Vedanta Vallarta.
Vedanta Vallarta just rolls off the tongue, the double V's. So, Jake Knapp, Stefan Jaeger, Patrick Rogers, Cameron Champ, like that type of prototype, I think Nate Lashley, I think is a really good fit here. Like distance is more of a luxury than a prerequisite, but distance certainly helps. But really long iron play and putting. Like, I think if you're just distilling everything down to two skills, I would say you could do a lot worse than just selecting the best long iron players and putters in this field.
Yeah. When you talk about Champ, if he can't get in trouble off the tee, he can make some putts and contend. Same with Patrick Rogers, historically a bomber, but he can make a lot of putts. Those are the guys that because Jason Day, he can bomb it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, sometimes not the best with his irons, but one of the best putters of all time. That's the prototype of player that I am probably looking at this week.
Yeah.
Go back to wait, one thing before I forget it. Go back to Zurich last week because there was a huge push from Adelaide on the Live Tour with the hundreds of thousands of fans, and kudos to them. They did bring them out. Whether or not it's free tickets,
it was like 90. It was 94,000 fans.
94,000 fans.
Whether
or not it's a bunch of bogans, throwing water bottles, and that's from my Australian friends describing what bogans are to me. I don't know, but hey, 94,000 people came out, and they had a pretty killer concert. Surprised and a little bit, happy that Rory kind of let the guard down a little bit, and Lowry, and they celebrated on stage. And what do you sing? American Pie or something?
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Germany.
How they ended The Sopranos, a television show I know you're not familiar with.
No, is that a show?
The Sopranos, yeah, it's widely considered to be the best television show ever created. The ending of The Sopranos is a famous scene where Don't Stop Believing comes on and it cuts to Tony Soprano, and then it blacks out, leaving this feeling of ambiguity to the viewer. And
sounds like a very neat. Sounds like a very neat show, Andy. Thank you. I will take that and write it down.
I just spoiler alert for The Sopranos, which last aired a decade ago. But
so it's it's about singers, right? It's like the four tenors, and they all get right.
Yeah, it's about essentially, basically, the singers, the mafia, cured meats. It kind of all New Jersey. It all comes together. Is Wiley bit not knowing about The Sopranos? It's kind of a bit, but it's also not a bit because Wiley doesn't watch.
I know The Sopranos. I have not seen one episode. That is not a lie.
Yeah, he knows what The Sopranos is like in the culture, but he's never watched the show.
You name a show in the chat, and I have not seen it. But you name an actor or an athlete, preferably my office is now laughing at me, but this is true. I will get their birthday within 6 months. So you can call it out during this chat, and I will just name it. I'll get within 6 months. Preferably male, please, but actor or athlete, 6 months. So there you go. That's not a bit.
He is really good with guessing birthdays. If I just gave you my birthday right now, what do you think my birthday is?
Your birthday.
I feel like you know me well enough at this point to get a good ballpark here.
November 11th, 94.
Are you serious? You're 8 days off. It's
what
November 3rd. It's November 3rd, 1994. You got the year right.
Thank you. No help needed. Yeah, I did.
You got it basically within a week. Natalie's November 10th. You got November 11th. I'm November 3rd, 1994. You got the year right too.
This is going to seem extremely strange. Okay. It is the one gift that I can't monetize or use to help people around the world. But literally these dates just flash in my head instantly, like they bounce off you. My third grade teacher, this is not a lie, said, because I was like this when I was a kid, they said, I think you're psychic. And all I can use this skill for, not stopping wars,
not making good DFS lineups,
not making good DFS lineups. It's actors' birthdays or yours. Wiley, guess how old I am? 46.
I'm 29.
Okay.
So you could probably ballpark that.
You said you liked wives earlier, so I thought she might be old. You said you liked your friend's wife. And I wrote that down. All right. So albeit it was sort of a lesser performance at the Zurich with the on-stage stuff, at least they tried. It's like Bart Simpson cake. At least you tried. Live Tour is kind of owning the party atmosphere a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, somebody commented, Australians for public boozing would come out to support the opening of an envelope, right? So I just don't know how many people were there to watch the golf versus they got a big DJ and see the after party.
Free tickets, free water bottles, tossing water bottles.
But I've said for a long time is that I'm not sure how relevant the golf actually is in all of this. And so I don't necessarily know if you could ding them for why people are coming out as long as they're coming out. Like, have we ever had a meaningful conversation about a golf shot on Liv? Like an actual shot on Liv? Has there been a meaningful conversation about one Liv golf shot in its 3-year history? Probably not, right?
But from a experiential standpoint, that is what the PGA Tour gets wrong, is that they make golf central to the event. And it makes it sometimes these events that are smaller, even, speaking about the Barbasol here and now the Kentucky Open, it's dead. I mean, it's very tough just to enjoy the golf shots. Make it as a piece of it, but build experiential around it. It's like, why is Waste Management so successful? It's not entirely about the golf. It's about the party. The golf is a piece of it. So that's what Liv has tackled correctly here. Make it a party first. Golf is here. You can see, but it's not just us following around people being quiet, because this is not 1954. And that's not exciting anymore to young fans. It's not.
Yeah. And a lot of it's luck too. Like, you think about how lucky the PGA Tour got that Lowry and Rory won, which was a total home run for all of their social channels. And that win.
These fuckers have gotten so lucky.
Way more engagement than the PGA Tour could have ever imagined. And Liv got a little unlucky with Brendan Steele, right? I think if Cam Smith wins Liv Adelaide, the conversation around Liv Adelaide is a little bit different, and that event does more on social. But I think the PGA Tour was one missed short putt away from Martin Trainer and Chad Ramey winning the Zurich Classic. I don't know if you're getting the Rory singing "Don't Stop Believin'" with thousands of quote tweets. If Martin Trainer makes that putt on the 18th hole, that's a little bit of a different narrative coming out of Zurich week. So at the end of the day, it's golf still, right? And
the only thing I expected to happen at the end of the Zurich, because Jay Monahan's been so lucky, was for him to come out in a suit and sing with them, which would have been the absolute most perfect optic for the PGA Tour in 4 years. But it didn't happen.
I just refreshed DraftKings. We still don't have pricing at 3:30.
All right, we've stalled a lot.
Eastern. Yeah, I know. It's like, all right, why don't we talk in a vacuum about players we like and don't like this week? So,
well, let me ask you this. Going by the betting board, mother of pearl. Going by my DraftKings just logged out of the betting thing. But going by the top of the board, let's think about who we believe will be the 10K and up or the high price range.
Okay.
Who do you think at this point?
Okay. So I'm looking at DraftKings odds because DraftKings odds are obviously going to be more correlated to DraftKings pricing. Jordan Spieth is 14-1, which
it's befuddling.
It's pretty confounding to me. 14-1 feels like 10.8, right? 10.7, 10.8. God, I'm looking at DraftKings right now, and it's 14-1 Spieth, 18-1 Jason Day, 22-1 Siwoo Kim, 22-1 Zalatoris, 25-1 Adam Scott, 25 Alex Noren, 28 Minwoo Lee. And generally, unless you have somebody crazy like a 12K Scheffler, you generally have about 10 to 13 players priced above 9K. So let's take the top 12 guys on the odds board via DraftKings and say that's the 9K range. Yeah. And you're looking at Spieth, Day, Siwoo, Zalatoris, Adam Scott, Alex Noren, Minwoo Lee, Sung J M, coming off a win in Korea, by the way, without Willie Wilcox, Benny On, Tom Kim, and Stefan Jaeger. Like, that's probably your 9K range. And I would be shocked if anybody in this field is above 11K.
Tom Kim is definitely the 9K range for sure.
Yep. I think Tom Kim's like 9-1, 9-2.
I think the only 10Ks are Spieth, Day, Siwoo, Will Z.
Can't make Adam Scott 10K.
You can't make him 10K. He's got to be 9-9, right?
Yeah, you can't make. I like Adam Scott this week. You can't make him 10K. Can't make him 10K.
No, it's you playing 10K Jason Day in this economy?
No, thanks.
You playing 10K Jordan Spieth in this economy?
Can I just ask on Spieth real quick? Like,
no,
it seems like he's hurt to me. Do you get that sense? He's losing strokes around the green every week, which is generally the one thing that you can count on with Jordan Spieth. And, you know, he's alluded to having a wrist injury, and around the green is obviously very much based around hinging the wrists and touch and feel with your hands. And so maybe if you're battling a wrist injury, the around the green is one of the first things to go. I don't know what's going on with the guy lately. I guess I'll Vic lap this because I was 50% right, but at the Heritage, I knew that one of a low-owned JT and Spieth would smash. And I got one of two. It ended up being JT. That was tremendously helpful for me in DK. But I watched a lot of Spieth at the Heritage, and now we're just at a point where when Spieth is always going to have bad. Yeah, it's probably a way more eloquent, less long-winded way to say what I'm getting to. But, you know, when Spieth isn't playing well at the Heritage and when he's not playing well at the Masters, like golf courses that he can traditionally show up with and perform with no form, it's a pretty big red flag for me.
I don't think he can make 28 birdies and 2 bogeys on this course like Jason Day did. I just don't think he can. I'm not willing to pay up to find out either. I don't think Will Zalatoris can either. I think the market fades, but I think the market chases him. I think the market chases Spieth, and I think the market chases Zalatoris. And I think the market fades Day, and I think it even fades him at 9-9. 9-8.
Yeah, I kind of like Sungjae this week.
I do too.
I like Sungjae on Birdie Fest. Maybe a little jet lag concerns because he's coming back from Korea, but I like Sungjae on this golf course. 0% chance I play Zalatoris. I don't understand why he. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't understand because he is from Dallas, so this is probably easy for him. But
right,
you know, Zal's going to play every single week between the Masters and the PGA Championship. I mean, as a young guy, I don't think it's the end of the world, but that's interesting to me. I don't know if any other guys doing that. I mean, Masters, Heritage, Zurich, Byron Nelson, Wells Fargo next week is a signature event. He's in the field.
There's been a lot of strange entries in these tournaments recently, like the back-to-back weeks for Rory. Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay going to Louisiana to play in the team event. And so Sahith. But I think this is a good week to fade the top in this Birdie Fest, man. Especially you have a top that has not won in years, is not playing well. I agree with you on the Spieth, perhaps injured. Perhaps he sucks. And I think that a little lower. And do you get a Tom Hoagie sub 9K? Probably not. He's probably going to be 9-1.
Yeah, I think between 8.7 and 9.2.
But you want an iron player birdie maker, Hoagie Jaeger, start there.
Yeah.
Right?
I love Jaeger this week. Ghost Jam already mentioned him. I mentioned the
Vidanta article. I love his game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a huge Jaeger fan this week. I think he's good enough to win. I mean, Stefan Jaeger's the only guy that's beaten Scotty Scheffler in the last month and a half. That's probably got to count for something. So I think a great way to do it this week is why pay up for Zalatoris, Spieth, and Jason Day? Like, you could start lineups in the low 9s and go super balanced. And like, I love Keith Mitchell this week on this golf course. I love Benny on this golf course. And you could probably easily start a lineup, Jaeger, Benny Keith Mitchell, which is what I'm very likely to do. And that probably are all guys between 9.2 and 8.6.
I get it. Yeah. So I put in the Discord, and this caused me a lot of grief because I think one said, well, he was the most mad. He didn't realize it was a bit. But I said, there's never been a good golfer with the last name starting with H. And he went on to me about Ben Hogan. And I had to lean into the bit to say Ben Hogan was a fraud. Now, I wasn't serious, but he believed I was serious. And it caused a lot of problems in the Discord that day and other days. And then I look at my sheet here, the like side. And I'm going to jump around from price range because we don't have a price range. But literally the 6 guys I like here a lot are all H's. Hoagie, Hubbard, Hughes, Hostler, Hisastune, and Hoffman, with an emphasis on Mackenzie Hughes. And I want your reaction. I want your eye reaction to when I say Mackenzie Hughes this week.
Don't mind it. He didn't pop for me, but I'm not anti. What's your ideal Hughes price? 7.7?
You'll never get it.
You think he's in the 8s?
Well, let me see what Hughes is at. He's at 40. He's at plus 4,500. And I don't know if the market opened at that, but if DK hasn't done pricing, they're taking the market right now, right? So 4,500 is going to be. He's an 8-3 golfer. I still love it.
4,500. I agree with you. 45. He'll be 8. Yeah, I think you're spot on there.
Which is okay because I think Hughes can make a fucking. He's everything you want Spieth to be right now. I think he makes a ton of birdies. No to Bo. Ghost James. The only time I've ever wanted Bo that I thought Ghost Jam would be on board with me, and he says no. You know how hard it was for me to write Bo Hostler on a piece of paper? But this is Texas, man. And he makes putts.
I had a Bo as a core play last week, and I got punished big time.
Yeah.
Joke's on me for amending my never Bo in a team
Sam
event.
Wright. That's who dragged him down.
Was it really? I mean, I couldn't tell you.
I just made that up. I was trying to lean into our confirmation bias here, but I had him too.
Pairing.
I had him in the top 22 million parlay that we put in Discord.
Yeah, murdered me. But I think like if we're looking at an 8K range, that's probably, I mean, where do you stand on 2-time winner of this event, KH Lee? Probably, I'm going to say KH Lee is 8,500 this week.
I'm going to say he's lower.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's probably 8-1.
Okay.
It's probably
50 to 1.
50 to 1. I think it's a very good bet. 50 to 1 is insane for KH Lee. Because he's back-to-back winner prior to day, and he definitely can just come into a tournament and win something like this. KH Lee just shows up. I like KH Lee a lot. I like KH Lee in Texas. So, yes. That's a ridiculous price. Even in DraftKings Sportsbook, 50 to 1 is crazy.
I'm going to give you 4 guys that I really like that I think are going to be either low 8s or mid to high 7s. And I want you to tell me in or out, first reaction. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Adam Schenk.
What do I say? Mid?
You say in or out, like you like it or you're out.
Oh, just in or out? Adam Schenk? Out. Always.
Mav McNeely.
Absolutely 100% fucking in. Absolutely in. He'll be a great price. Yes.
Fuck yeah. Patrick Rogers.
I hate to say it, but I'm in. I'll chase until I die. Until I die, I'll take chase Patrick Rogers like Jamie Lovemark. Go ahead. Next. Love this game.
Seamus Power. Great course history.
Yes, love it. Love Seamus Power.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
2 more for you.
Yeah.
Mark Hubbard.
Absolutely. He's in my age group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last name starts with H.
Yeah.
Doug Gim. Texas guy, playing well. 75 to 1. You could be out. You have to say in for all of them.
I'm going to say out right now because I need an out.
Okay.
I know where you're going next, by the way. If you have one more, I know where you're going.
I mean, I was done, but I can go one more.
Marty Doe. Marty Doe.
Is way down the board. Sponsors exemption, Marty Doe coming off a 5th place finish at this event last year.
And look in your numbers. Who's one of the best 200 yards or more
Marty Doe.
players?
Yeah.
Marty Doe.
Yeah, Marty Doe. And then are you hip to this Peter Quest thing that's developing? Are you aware of the Peter Quest?
I'm not aware of what's developing, but Peter Quest did us some good earlier in the season, right? It was Kevin Yu, it was Quest, and I'm thinking of one more, but these guys were printing for us a little bit. Not winning, but they were really good value and making some money. You won what? What's the Quest thing?
He's just I love him from a number standpoint. He murders the ball off the tee. Like he's one of the longest players in this field. He's a great long iron player. He's coming off back-to-back top 10s at the Corrales and Valero. He's kind of playing for his life right now. And he finished 14th at this event last year, finished 17th at the John Deere last year, 4th at the Rocket Mortgage last year. So essentially you play Peter Quest on driver heavy bent grass birdie fests. And that's what I will continue to do this week.
It's not Lauer Ghost Jam. There was one more player who's just.
I love Lauer this week. I gave out in the Discord. I bet Justin Lauer at 110-1.
Yep. Quest and Lauer. Is you in this field?
Yeah, and I like him too.
Oh, now we are talking because Kevin Yu is going to be cheap. Yeah, there he is. Kevin Yu.
He's 90-1. I'm going to say Kevin Yu is 7.3.
Yeah, there's going to be, let me just tell you this right now. There are going to be some 90-1 or more winners this week. There's going to be some bombs this week. This is the week to make bombs. There's not going to be a Spieth winner. There's not going to be a short price winner. It is a bomb winner. Perhaps a first-time winner. Kevin Yu. Yes. Quest. Yes. Schmid. Never. It's in his name.
Mid.
Kyle
likes Schmid a lot. I'm not a huge Schmid guy either, but I think you could go back to Chuck Hoffman here. And that's a Wiley
in the H's. Hoagie, Hughes, Hubbard, Hostler, Hisastune. That's the correct pronunciation. And
Kobe calls him Hotstone.
It's not Hotstone. It's Hisastune.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you even mentioned Hisastune.
I know. I haven't gotten there yet. What are his odds? I mean, 150-1.
I will say he's at least 130.
Yeah, 125 or 110 on DraftKings.
I'm on it. None of you have given me an actor or an athlete in the comment section to guess the birthdays. I am fucking on it. I am 1 day off your girlfriend's birthday. I'm 8 days off yours.
Okay, what's Travis Kelce's birthday? It's the first name that popped to my head as an athlete celebrity.
Very good, very smart. I respect that. I'll say April 13th, 1989.
No, I'm not going to give you are you in within 6 months? Yeah.
Yes, that's great. It's 6 months. It's October.
Wait. What kind of standard is this? What was the year that you gave?
I said April 13th, 1989.
The Taylor Swift album, 1989. Yeah, I mean, October 5th. That's sure. I'll give you that. I mean, getting 6 months
year on demand. I couldn't Google shit. My hands are up. Hands up.
Getting the year is fairly impressive. Okay, last one then, because we're running out of topics for Byron Nelson. Unless somebody wants to, if you want to, anybody in the chat, last opportunity to type somebody in that you want me to share an opinion on, I can. But Scotty Scheffler.
What, for birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very smart. A very smart play, because these younger guys are tougher. June 26, 1998. Thank you very much.
June 21st, 1996.
Fuck. He's 28.
He's 27. It's terrifying that Scotty Scheffler is younger than me. He looks like he's 45.
Yeah, I asked my kids, how old's this person? They're like 46. No.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler looks weathered. But I mean, he's also, what has he earned? 50. They had a breakdown of this on Instagram.
Yeah.
Wiley, do you know that over the last month, Scotty Scheffler has made $12,000 per shot? So like a tap in putt, 12K. Pricing's out.
It's just like pricing's out.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Let's go through this.
All right. No. I want you to make some guesses. Okay. So guess who's the highest price player on the slate?
Spieth, obviously. I mean, that's obvious.
At what price?
You can't go. You got to have a high 10K golfer. It's gonna be about, I say 10.6, at least 10.6.
Yeah, Spieth is 10.9.
Okay.
Which is, I think, pretty bad. And I don't think he's going to be super popular. Then you have Day 10-4, Zalatoris 10, Siwoo 9-8. So you've only got 3 guys above 10. And, we were right on the money. There's 12 guys above 9K.
Yep.
And
okay, I'm looking at it now.
It's the 12 guys that we guessed. So DraftKings basically did mimic our pricing.
You've got Hoagie 9-1. We got that. You've got M 9-7. That's pretty close.
Jaeger 9-2.
And then you've got KH Lee 8-3. We said 8-1. Hughes 8-6. We said H3. So we're in the zone. What is Kevin Yu? 7-5. Okay, Peter Quest. There's your man. 7-5. Mid-7.
They have Quest 7-5. Wow.
This is you're going to have to leave. They bought Showdown Pricing Captain on Sunday so badly. We literally had an average of 17,000 left for 2 players. You're going to have to leave a ton on the table this week if you want the winning lineup.
God, some of this is interesting. Hubbard's 8. Rogers is, I guess it's what I expected. Rogers 8.4.
This is expected. But look at even Knapp 8K. If you have some corollary golf course to the one he won at, I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, Vidanta Vallarta.
There it is.
Vallarta. Yeah, Vidanta Vallarta. God, they even have you know who this might be a good buy low spot on?
Who's that?
Berger.
I was just looking at it. Berger Novak?
Yeah.
Right?
7.4.
It was Novak Thompson last week, right?
Oh my God, they murdered us over the weekend, man.
Yeah, but they smashed early.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one name here. You can throw it back to me if you want.
Okay.
But you go to a course where you have to make a ton of birdies, and who makes historically a ton of birdies? And won here. I don't know how he won here or what he did here, but in 2019 he won on Craig Ranch, maybe a KFT tournament. But
I know
Taylor Montgomery makes a ton of birdies. Elite putter, and he's 7-3. 7-3.
And yeah, I like it. I think you got to be good at one of those 2 skills, whether it's putting or long irons.
Taylor Montgomery's a lock this week.
Yeah.
Absolute lock at that price.
So who's your winner?
Taylor Montgomery.
Really?
No, I just made that up. No, I just want to see your reaction. Because if you said I agree with that, I'd be like, yeah, that's the win. But you went, really?
I think
which means you're a fucking moron, Wiley.
I don't think he's going to win. I think he's a good play at 7.3.
Yeah, I think he's
but I thought you were going to go a little bit more chalky towards the top. Like my winner is, I agree with the strategy of bombs away this week, but if you're asking me one guy to win, my guy is still, I'm not going to give away the exact price, but he's in the high 8s. This is a guy I think is going to win.
The killer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going with Keith Mitchell this week. Gets it done. Second win on the PGA Tour. He's developed into one of the best long iron players in the field. He's the only guy in this field to rank top 20 in long iron play, bent grass putting, and birdies are better gain. That's the formula, and power off the tee. That's the formula you're looking at. I think he's the most complete golfer in this field in terms of the skill set you're looking at, which is power, long iron play, putting, and birdie making ability. I think Keith Mitchell wins this event. I bet him at 35-1.
Man, you got Luke listed 7-8.
I like that a lot too, Ghost Jam.
Right.
Jaeger.
Jaeger's second win this year. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I will say this. I'll say the winner of this tournament will have an H in their last name.
So the best H is Hoagie by pricing.
By the way,
you're also getting Hughes, Hubbard, Hostler, Hoffman.
It's Austin.
Higo's playing well.
But I also said they'll have an H in their last name, not beginning with. It's the hedge.
Yeah, that's the ultimate hedge. Yeah, you're even getting got it now. I'm all
No, I think Jaeger's a good play. I mean, honestly, I think he's great. If I had guts, I'm going to go Mackenzie Hughes. I'm going to say
okay. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
But I have no guts. All right, that's it.
Later, guys.
Hey, join the Discord. Join Run Pure Sports. Like and subscribe. Run Pure Sports.
Like and sub. We'll be in there. Let us know if you got any questions. We'll be in there talking golf. Be on a plane all day, so I'll definitely be talking.
When do you leave? When do you leave for Bahamas? Flex?
Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I got a flight at 8 a.m. and so I'm not going to be able to. I don't know if
Natalie going?
She's not. That's another thing that is a whole other tangent that I don't think you want to get me started on. Was that
happy about it?
There were no. She took it really well. Like she has work this weekend that I don't even know if she would have been able to come. But the thing that's interesting about this wedding too is that he only invited 4 kids from our high school. We all went to boarding school together, and none of us got +1s for the wedding in the Bahamas. So now, in fairness, he lives in New York. I live in LA. We were best friends in high school, but I rarely see him anymore, and I don't really know the wife too well at all.
And so when you said to Natalie that you're going to Bahamas
for a week, no +1, and also here's the issue with it too, is that the weekend is going to be so expensive. I mean, this is going to be, I'm going to spend, it doesn't matter the price, but it's going to be so much money that I'm going to have to spend on this weekend to the point where it's actually going to prevent me from wanting to spend money on future weekends that could have been with my significant other. So that's the problem with these destination weddings, is that they get to a point where they're so robust financially that the fact that I don't even get to use any of that money on my girlfriend is unfair, in my opinion. It's like, we're going to the Bahamas and I don't get to spend any of that money on my girlfriend.
So when you said that to her, when you laid this out, no +1s, Bahamas, dad here will be gone for a week, what was her reaction? What did she say?
She took it like an absolute champ, like she always does.
No, what did she say? No, what did she say?
Well, she said that she wasn't offended that she didn't get invited because none of our friends from high school got +1s.
Okay.
But you know, she was definitely bummed that I was going to be gone for another week. And, you know, I was going to have to spend so money on this Bahamas trip that it was potentially going to take away from future trips that we could go on in the next couple of months as well. Which
I just been married 21 years and I know I have a dictionary of what words actually mean.
100%. It's all codified. So like,
have a good time.
It's fine. It does not really mean it's fine at all.
No, that's no problem. You have a good time.
Yeah. Have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah, of course you could play golf today.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a great course and an interesting, exciting opportunity that you won't get it. Yeah, that you won't get again.
Natalie hasn't commented since 3:41, by the way.
She probably bailed.
She did.
She usually, like, as soon as we start talking about like Stefan Jaeger, she's like, okay, I'm good.
I'm done.
I'm good here.
Peace out, brother.
All right, later.